Everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got a bit of a topic I've been thinking about for a while. I'm not going to be taking anything off this tree, and there's reasonings behind that, and it leads me on to the video which I want to produce today. And that is that when we have trees, bonsais, we have to have a plan of what we're expecting in the future from that tree and how we're going to go about it. It sort of leans into direction as well, and there's a couple of meanings for me personally when it comes to direction. So the direction of the tree is a massive thing, okay? And what I mean by that is, what direction are you taking that tree in when you're creating a bonsai? So there's going to be certain techniques that you'll need to follow in order to follow your plan to lead it in that direction. Obviously, another part of direction is placement of branches, the way the tree's planted in the pot. If it's facing towards you, or like this one, is it a slant style moving away? Now this tree looks quite shaggy, but the direction and the reason for me to leave it in this state, the branches are set with wire, and they have been all year, the main branches. I've been trying to cause a bit of bud back to get some ramification, and what I'm doing over time is, as I'm creating these finer branches and this ramification, that will then be wired over winter, and we're building pads as we go. There's no use in just leaving the tree to grow wild without a plan, don't get me wrong. It might be that you need to let the tree run wild because you need to thicken a trunk, or you need to thicken a main branch up. But the main point I'm trying to make is, you have to have a plan. There has to be direction. If you don't have a plan and you don't have direction, then you're not really going to do the tree any justice. Obviously, I'm a very big believer in fertilizing, and the reason for that is, with these plans and this direction, the tree will need energy. If you're not giving the tree enough energy, and you continue to just keep attacking it by taking bits off here, bits off, you will weaken the tree more and more. So the idea is, if we're taking from the tree, we are also giving back to the tree, okay? And like Nacho said, the tree will speak to you, yeah? If the tree responds in the way you want it to respond, then you can do the work. If the tree's not responding, then there's no point in doing the work, because the tree is not ready. If you continue with the path that you want to take and the tree is weak, then you will kill the tree. Another thing I found quite eye-opening that Nacho told me is that the success rate of the trees that are used in demos is very little. People don't really tend to think about what's happening in the future, it's just what's happening then. And it's very easy to get caught up in worrying like what the silhouette of the tree is like and how it looks now, as opposed to, well, if I left that grow and let that thicken up in the future, then that will look like this, rather than trying to keep a silhouette for now. So as you can see with this tree, it's really overgrown in some people's eyes, but it benefits what I'm doing to it in the future. It's also, what it's doing is it's giving the tree energy. So we need to think about things like that. Thinking along those lines, the pot. So if you've got material that you've bought in a nursery training pot, and that tree is still weak, then the last thing you want to be doing is trying to repot that tree. So the best thing you can do is to leave it in a bigger pot as possible, so that it can create roots, and that will help to gather energy for the tree. Okay, because I know it's very tempting that you buy a tree and you want it to look a certain way in a pot, but you need to do what's right for the tree. And at the end of the day, we can do what we can for the tree, but it might not always work out. And I think the best thing that Nacho taught me is, sometimes that's just the way it is. You've got to be with a symbiotic relationship with the tree, yeah? So you give the tree what you can, okay, and help it as best as you can, but there still is no guarantee, okay, because the tree can't talk to us. but it will respond to how you treat it. A little bit of a for instance as well with, you know, planning ahead with things. Even, you know, we're coming into autumn soon, and off the back of that obviously is winter. Now I'm kind of looking more now towards winter and what needs to happen. So, you know, when this starts to shed its needles, then potentially what I want to do is go in and make sure I remove all those old needles, so that we don't get any pests sitting around, we don't get any sort of, you know, fungus that could be created because there's dead spots in the branches. We want it all as open as possible when I put it away for winter. Okay, so little jobs like that, I know they're a bit of a pain, but in the grand scheme of it, it needs to happen. Okay, we spend a lot of money on our trees, and there's no point in just being lazy and thinking, oh, I'll just leave that, it'll be okay. You might as well just get it done, and at least you know then you've got peace of mind that when it comes around to next spring and you go in to take your tree out, you're not going to be facing problems if you'd have just left it. Okay, and obviously checking on your tree through the winter is a big part of it as well. You know, I'm not saying leave the trees all winter, but what I'm saying is you've got a better success rate of it coming and waking up next spring. A few little things there that I was talking about, you know, with your plan, your direction. Okay, just try and stick to those, really is probably my message. I mean, you know, we've all got very busy lives, and sometimes things get left out or get missed, but you know, as long as you can get to them at some point, then there's not going to be much harm done to the tree. It's just a case of making sure that you do get to those jobs rather than just not do them at all. So I hope you like that short little video. If you could just hit the like button, that'd be great. And if you haven't subscribed already, could you hit the subscribe? That'd be awesome. Thanks to everyone that's subscribed and that's following already. And a little shout out to the WhatsApp group of all the creators that we've just set up. Yeah, it's been quite cool, you know, getting to meet everyone. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go by what I tell you, but I just thought it'd help to, you know, relay what's been taught to me, and hopefully it will make you a little bit more successful in certain areas of bonsai. And I know, you know, especially when you're just starting out, it can be very daunting when people start talking about certain techniques and all the technical stuff that goes into it. But you know, we're going to try our best to try and help the community to understand a little bit better why we do certain things and how we do them properly. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled for future videos. I think I might try and do quite a few little topical ones and see how we do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week.